That was a clap sync, everybody.
Is it off balance?
No.
Guys, I said that on purpose so he thinks about it the entire time.
It might be off balance. It's going to bother me now.
See?
Whatever.
Where's your coffee?
Dude, I don't even care. I don't even care right now, dude.
It's chili. Like the restaurant.
Hey, I had chili for lunch today.
Well, I had...
It was white chili with chicken and yeah.
What's in white chili? Is it cheese?
You put cheese in it. But it's
What's
chicken
the white?
and it's just a different kind of bean.
Okay.
This time my mom had to use white chili beans because for some reason they didn't have the it's a specific type of bean. I'm losing it right now, but it's just a different kind of bean and there's different stuff in it. But it's chili. It's white chili and it has chicken instead of like beef and stuff.
So what makes it white is the bean?
It's a different kind of beans and yeah, there's just different stuff in it.
Have you heard the Reddit story about the bean problem? It's about this couple where it said like this.
Hot.
It said like this.
Hot. Hot chocolate.
My girlfriend baked all my bean, and I didn't want her to bake all my bean. She said it would be better if fried bean, but I didn't want the bean to be fried. Do I break up with her? It got deleted, but it was pretty good.
Oh, that's a bummer. Yes.
Cheers.
Beautiful. Wonderful. All right. Jordan, what do you hate?
I hate high gas prices.
Yeah.
And not only do I hate high gas prices, I hate high gas prices. That means I'm a boring adult now.
Yeah.
Officially.
Well, it doesn't have to mean you're boring. It just means you're an adult.
It means you have to be financially capable. And then when you're financially capable, you become more boring because you're more stressed in life. And being stressed means you're more adult, and you're more adult means you're more boring.
You know, that's fair. You got me on that one.
I hate all of those things.
Yeah.
Noah, what do you hate?
You know, I actually didn't think of anything.
That's like the third time, man.
But this time I didn't even think to think of it. It's not that I just didn't think of anything in time. I just didn't even think about thinking about something until now.
Sometimes it's better not to think about things you hate, but we have to for the show. So.
Popcorn ceiling.
You don't like popcorn ceiling?
No, it's gross. It's so unstylish, and if you bump it at all, it just gets everywhere.
That's true. It's more nostalgic for me, though.
It's that kind of gross nostalgia for me. Like, I'm glad that was past.
So it's like trauma.
It's trauma.
Gross nostalgia.
Isn't trauma really just a fancy word for gross nostalgia?
Noah, you ignorant slut.
So yes, I was traumatized by popcorn ceilings.
See, when I was a kid, I was playing with it because I had a bunk bed so I can reach it, and some got in my eye, and it didn't fall out for like another 4 days.
Yeah. One time, you were there for it. I feel like you were there for everything in my life.
Thanks, man. That's really
very
cute.
Weird. That time. Okay, that's just going to be a lot of noise now. He was. For our audio listeners, he was just bumping around.
I want them to see my identity on my cup. Can they see it?
Look at his cup.
Can they see it? Maybe not. It doesn't matter.
It
says Noah.
They probably can.
Anyway.
I think my grandma made that.
Now I feel weird drinking out of it.
I don't know for sure though.
Okay, go ahead. When you were.
Yeah.
When I was there. I was there.
We were. Doesn't have anything to do with the popcorn ceiling.
Oh,
it has something to do with me getting something in my eye. That's what made me think of it. Not the time you threw cards in my... Okay, so that's a different story. He threw... I'm not going to tell the whole thing, but he threw a deck of cards at my face, and they cut my eye.
That was like 5 years ago.
That was...
Get over it.
Maybe the first time we met? No, we met at school before that, but that was the first time...
We hung out.
Because it was at a church.
Hi, I'm Jordan.
It was because I was hanging out with Jack, and you were hanging out with Jack at church.
Happy late birthday, Jack.
Yes, it was Jack's birthday. Yes, is today the 10th?
Today's the 10th.
Yesterday.
The day we're recording this.
Yeah, the day we're recording this was the 10th, and his birthday was yesterday.
Yeah.
On the 9th.
Yeah.
So if you didn't wish him happy birthday, you're a bad person.
You're a bad friend and person.
I'm actually really bad with birthdays.
Oh,
I
me
always
too.
forget people's birthdays.
Me too.
I'm usually good with names and faces, like putting names and faces together. I'm bad at remembering birthdays, though.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, my story
Where did you get something in your eye and I was there? It wasn't that story.
Me and you and Sophia were at a park one time before I had work. We were climbing trees at the park near Nate's house. I'm pretty sure Sophia was
I
there.
remember
Yeah,
now.
and something got in my eye, and I had to go to work right after that. And I ended up having to leave work early and go to a hospital, not like emergency room or anything, but get it checked out because there was still a wood chip in my eye, and it had gotten like up on the inside of my eye, on the top of my eye, and they had to like flip my eyelid open to take it out.
I remember that. That
It
was fun.
hurt. Yeah, I had to leave work early because of that.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
Good day though.
Yeah, I mean, it was a normal day. I don't really.
You
remember
drove your mom's
what else
Optima.
happened. Oh, was that the Optima day?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good day.
I had an ACT prep book in the back, and Luca said, "Why do you have an ACT book in the back of your car?" And I said, "Because I want to act when I'm older."
Yeah.
Welcome to the We Hate Things podcast.
Welcome to We Hate Things, episode 27.
27. We're double digits now. That's crazy. It is currently 7:45 p.m. This is the latest we've ever done this now.
Yep, absolutely the latest.
And
we've ever
honestly,
done this.
it's a different vibe.
It's very different.
I like it more.
We had to get some lighting stuff, and it's still not exactly what I'd like it to be, but you can at least see us, and it's dark outside.
Yeah, it sucks that the firelight isn't big enough for you to see us.
It could be potentially, but then we'd have to turn it up all the way.
It's
and
not
then
that.
Even right now, if you listen closely, you might be able to hear it in the background a little bit.
You'd only hear like the
gas.
The gas, though. You wouldn't be able to hear the actual like crackle.
No, because there's no crackle. It's
too full.
It's a gas fire pit with lava rocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you'd still be able to hear that, and that gets a little annoying. You might even be able to hear it right now, but if we turned it up all the way, it would be too loud.
Yes.
So we're using a floodlight from my dad's school with a sheet in between the floodlight and us because the floodlight was too bright.
It doesn't count as level 3 because we didn't pay for it.
No, it does not count as season 3 because we did not pay for it. We're borrowing it. We're going to have to get a light at some point.
Because we're probably going to have to do this more
We're going to have to do this more at night. Well, I mean,
honestly,
now that it's getting darker earlier. But mornings are also work. We'll probably be doing more mornings
Here's the
as
thing.
well.
Yeah. I was just going to say that. I think recording in the morning and nighttime, I am better mentally, especially about talking, than when we usually record.
I think that's probably
because when we usually record, it's when it's after work and after school, and that's when we're both mentally tired.
Yeah. So if we do it later, then we can have some time to rejuvenate and whatnot, or earlier, then we're fresh.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we'll probably be doing more mornings and evenings, especially with my new job and everything.
Yeah. What's your new job?
I'm working at a Christmas tree lot, and there's a lot more details that I'll tell you about after.
Okay. By your first day?
No, it wasn't really my first day. It was just
checkup.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, there's a lot of details I'm not going to get into on the podcast, but I'm essentially a manager at this Christmas tree lot. Not essentially, I am a manager at this Christmas tree lot. But yeah, so I'm just going to be working like Thursdays through Mondays, all day.
Cool.
So we're just gonna have to figure out we'll probably be doing more mornings and evenings.
Your weekends are just done.
My weekends are gone until Christmas, essentially.
Dang.
Well, for this week and next week, what is today? The 10th? Yeah. So like this whole week and next week, not so much. But as soon as we actually officially open, which is gonna be the weekend. You can see how bright that is. Let me finish this statement real quick, and then I'll go fix that. Which is going to be the weekend before Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. Between now and then,
that's in like a week.
It's a week. It won't be too bad. But then once we officially open, it's going to get crazy. See how bright it is? I'm glad we could use that as an example.
Hey, nice to see you. Didn't know if you could see us. We were here the whole time.
I can't really see anything. It's like the sun.
Welcome to the We Hate Things podcast. We'll be right back.
Clap sync.
But I was doing it like a...
Thank you for starting to talk right when I do a clap sync.
Sorry, go ahead.
It doesn't make things any harder for me at all.
Just do it again.
It doesn't make my life any harder.
I can do it.
It's over. The first time worked.
Well, then why did you complain that I was
just
talking?
So I could chastise you.
You just
so I could use the word chastise.
Honestly, I did the same thing.
I've been watching a lot of Psych lately, so my humor has been a lot of that kind of humor.
What?
Kind of dumb, but like multi-layered,
Mhm.
and it's just kind of one reason I do like sex comedy is because it's kind of dumb and smart at the same time.
Mhm.
At least in the earlier seasons. Later,
Same thing about Community.
later it gets a little dumb. Community's generally is smarter, but playing off of dumb tropes, but it knows it.
Yes.
Psych is a little. They're both hilarious. Psych in my this is how I see it. In my mind, Psych is more. At first glance, it seems dumb, but then if you take a second look at the jokes, it's like, oh, that's actually a smart joke. Community is just like...
It takes a dumb joke and makes it smart.
Yeah, that's actually... You can straight up see that it's a smart joke.
Mm-hmm.
Psych makes it seem dumb until you're like, oh, wait, that was a smart joke. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to explain a joke, but I didn't want to do that.
Okay.
Cool.
Episode 27.
I'm actually on a Donald Glover thing as of recently. As you may know, I'm listening to a podcast called Dissect, and it's going over Childish Gambino's album Because of the Internet in 2013. So I'm listening to his music, and I'm also watching his own created TV show called Atlanta, and that's been pretty good too. Atlanta, I'm almost done with the second season. It's only 10 episodes, and each episode is like not even 30 minutes, so it's really easy to get through.
Yeah.
Right now, it's way funnier than I thought it would be. You wouldn't think Atlanta is like...
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard...
Yeah.
I've never even heard anything about it.
Okay.
I've never even talked to anybody that has watched it.
Yeah. I haven't either.
For some reason.
Yeah. I looked it up on the internet to see, like, should I watch Atlanta? And then it says, like, if you like this, you'll like Atlanta. So I watched it. Okay. It's basically... It's just... This is Black America. Mm. And just follows, like, small stories.
Oh, nice.
Out of the same characters. And that's it. That's the show. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm enjoying it. So, yeah. It's based in Atlanta.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's... Anyway. What were we talking about before that thing fell? My job?
Yeah, your job.
Were we on my job?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working at Christmas Tree Lot. I worked there last year, and now I'm a manager there this year.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What's the difference between like a manager job there and an actual job?
A normal job there is just...
taking trees, wrapping them.
It's just, it's selling trees to the people. It's taking people around being like, hey, what kind of tree you're looking for? There's this. Mm-hmm. And then taking them, cutting them, not like cutting them down, but like cutting off the end, the stumps a little bit so it's a fresh stump.
Yep.
Wrapping them, tying them to the top of people's cars. That's basically your whole job. And also like unloading trees when we get shipments and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Now my job is, and I'm not going to get into specifics like how much I'm making or other things.
Yeah, no doesn't want to brag.
Or who I'm employing or whatnot, because...
specific names.
Now that's sort of my job.
Yeah.
I am making the entire schedule for everyone that works on the lot. The only reason I'm even saying this much is because no one watches this. I'm making the entire schedule. I am I am in charge of everyone on the lot other than the people that work at the front desk, who I work side by side with. They're not my boss. The only person I report to is Blake, who owns the lot.
Jeez, dude.
And that's after working there for 1 year. I am a little bit proud of this. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just proud of how...
Dude, you're allowed to be proud of that. So, props.
So I'm doing all the scheduling. I'm helping with inventory.
Yep.
I have a key to the trailer, which is where it's like a big trailer that we keep everything in.
Right.
And I'm in charge of the lot, essentially.
That's awesome.
And I'll tell you something after, just because it's
after.
Yeah.
I just got a job at Bodie. I now have 2 jobs.
Tell me about that. That's exciting.
Yeah.
When have you started there yet?
No, I think orientation is either tomorrow or Thursday. I'll check after the podcast.
Okay.
I work at my other job, which is a coffee shop on campus. 1 shift, morning shift, and then I work 3 morning shifts for Bodie now. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, nice.
So that's 12 to 15 hours a week plus school. But all the times I work well with my schedule anyway. It's only 9 to 12, so like it's not like it's a lot.
Oh yeah, that's chill.
Yeah, I'm not even the morning shift and the second shift of the day. So like, yeah, it is the busiest time though. That's when people go to coffee shops.
That makes sense.
So like,
The mornings is yeah.
yeah.
And then the mornings on the weekends, obviously, that's going to be even busier.
My other job is really just making acai bowls.
That's not bad.
It isn't bad. It's just
that's easy.
not a coffee shop.
It's just that's not really a coffee job.
Mm-hmm.
We're drinking Keurig coffee.
It's different.
It's not good.
We've not done this before. It's okay.
I don't like it. I can taste the fakeness of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Keurig coffee isn't fake.
I know it's not. It's not like it's synthetic coffee. It's just, it's that pre-roasted, packaged in the little plastic cups. I can just taste all of that.
Okay.
And it's not. It tastes fake. It tastes like fake coffee.
Okay. Would you rather have Keurig coffee or Starbucks coffee? Black coffee.
Fake coffee or burnt coffee? That's a tough one.
One of them's cheaper.
Keurig is much cheaper. I'll have to go with that.
Like much cheaper.
I'd have to go with that.
Yeah. When Jalen got back here from Hawaii, his mom sent me Hawaiian coffee.
Oh, dude.
It's pretty good.
Hawaiian coffee. I've heard Hawaiian coffee's good. Like
Hawaiian.
real. I meant to say Hawaiian.
Mm-hmm.
Like real Hawaiian coffee. I've never had it. I've heard it's good.
Yep. It is. Okay, so I want to talk about Hollow Knight real quick.
Oh, dude, yeah. I haven't played any more since last time I talked to you about it. But
I played one whole area. Okay, Hollow Knight is probably one of the best 2D games I've ever played.
it's amazing.
It's
actually
really
amazing.
good. We got it free
There's-
for PS
For PS
Plus.
Plus, yeah, this month.
this month, and it's just so fun.
Just to preface this all
Yeah.
a little bit. This is video game news. There's like it's gonna be like a minute long.
It's gonna be like
There's a couple
sorry.
announcements we have to
it's gonna be like 3 minutes long, so you can skip
at
forward
most.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a few announcements we have to make.
Yeah.
One being Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Again, it's a 2D pretty much dungeon crawler where you discover new areas, and you get upgrades along the way. And my favorite part is they don't tell you the story going in.
None.
You just figure it out through dialogue, which is like so creative.
It's really cool. Yeah.
and the story seems cool too.
Yeah.
I've only done the first area and the area to the left called the Grasslands. I think.
I haven't when I played the first area because I've gotten through like 4 areas
Okay.
now. I am not like 100%ing the areas.
Oh, I am.
I'm doing.
I can't move on to another area before I like see everything.
I'm doing most of them, but also if I find like a passageway that leads somewhere else, I
You're
continue
exploring that.
through it, and then I'm like, oh, I'll just come back to that old place later. And I do most of the time. Like I still haven't found that one boss you were talking about in the first area, but I will. I have gone back and seen most of the first area now. But it's nice because I've also gotten more upgrades and stuff, so there's more I can do
Right.
and see.
I'm afraid of moving on because I don't want to forget things that I see along the way. So I'm like, okay, I need to
Yeah,
remember that
that's-
door right there.
That's one thing I am having a problem with. So what I've been doing, if I'm like, okay, now I need to go back, I'll remember a thing but I won't remember exactly where it is. So I've just been going around the levels, just looking for stuff essentially, like the areas that I've
You're
already
exploring.
been. Yeah. So, but if I'm like, okay, now I need to go back and look for something, I don't know where it is. So I've just had to move around around the areas and look for stuff, even though
Right now,
they're big areas.
Yeah. If I see the map and I see that I'm heading to a big area, I like look to see if I can see small areas along the way that I can visit,
Yeah.
because those are really missable.
Getting the map really helped.
Okay, if there wasn't a map, it wouldn't be a fun game to me.
No, because you
just
have
get
to
lost.
remember everything, and
Yeah.
that's impossible.
But yeah, Hollow Knight. I've only done 2 areas, and there's like what?
I have no
I
idea
don't
how
even-
many there are.
That's the thing. I know nothing
Here's
about
the
the
thing.
game.
So like this, there are multiple areas, but also this is just in the what's the city called? Something Nest?
Dirtmouth.
No, Dirtmouth is the one on top.
Yeah.
It's the one on top.
Oh, you're talking about the city
the main
below.
thing,
I
yeah.
don't remember. Something
It's called
ruins.
something Nest, I think.
I don't remember.
Neither do I. But I feel there might be like another city because I don't think this is
You're right.
the main city.
Well, the city that people are talking about is that city though.
Okay, then it might be. Either way, there's a lot in this game.
Yeah.
It's very fun. I'm enjoying it. I
Yeah.
need to keep playing it.
We're not even close to done. Yeah.
No, not even close.
What came out today?
Okay,
Okay,
Dude.
Go ahead.
So we have to talk about this, even though neither of us are going to get it. Wait, which are you? Are we?
Not yet.
Are we on the same page?
Yeah. Go ahead.
what came out today is Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah.
The only reason we have to talk about it today is because we talked about it because the trailer came out on the day that we recorded our first episode of this podcast.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, us.
Kind
And
not,
Valhalla.
Not at all.
So that was in April, March?
That was April, March.
April, March around there. Yeah, it was April, March. It came out the day we recorded.
Yeah.
That day that we recorded, the first trailer for Assassin's Creed Valhalla came out, and the game finally came out today. And that's just sort of a milestone, I guess, even though...
There's no news. That's just
that's
thing.
it. That's it. Neither of us are going to get it for a while, at least. I probably won't get it till it's discounted.
I'm not getting it until it's like $15.
Yeah, no, I will not. I'm not going to spend any large chunk of money on it. It's getting good reviews. I'm still not going to spend any money on it.
I've heard it's like the best Assassin's Creed since Black Flag or something.
I don't know. Black Flag is my favorite.
I didn't like it that much.
You didn't like Black Flag?
I liked it.
We talked about it in the first episode.
We did. I don't care. I'm going to talk about it again.
I don't even remember what we said, so neither do you.
Black Flag was very... I don't know. I liked the sailing. I liked everything but the sailing. The sailing was
like
just
the
boring.
The sailing, I will accept that it was boring. I enjoyed the ship fights and stuff, though.
The ship fights were the boring part,
battles,
man.
I enjoyed the battles.
You fire the cannon once, and then you go on it, and then you take it.
The battles, I think the reason I liked them a bit more is because the ship battles were the only part of the game where I actually felt challenged.
Okay.
The rest of the game, you you hit Y and then square.
I don't know. You can play checkers.
That's fair. That's fair. You hit Y at the right time. I just said Y and square. That's Xbox and PlayStation.
You're right.
You hit Y at the right time and then X at the right time, or triangle and then square. And the guy's dead. It's not like the newer Assassin's Creed where it's actually you got to keep hitting them. It's just
or like good.
You counter once and you
fighting
hit
games.
square once and they're done.
Yeah.
It was so easy. It was fun because you could walk into a crowd of 20 enemies and kill all of them, and you felt awesome.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that hard. The only part of the game was the ship battle. The only harder part of the game was the ship battles, and that wasn't even that hard.
That's the thing about video games where, I don't know, it's... easy doesn't equal fun to me.
No, I would agree. I need
to feel like I'm figuring stuff out in order for me to feel
like a challenge.
Yeah, that's why video games were fun in the past.
Yeah.
Where, I can't get past the level, I need to keep playing.
Yeah.
That's why they were fun.
Yeah. Challenges are good.
Yeah. What also came out today?
Yes, you can take this one since I took Valhalla.
Destiny Beyond Light.
Oh, I wasn't even going to talk about that, but are you going to get it? What are you thinking?
Eventually.
How much is it?
It's $30.
That's not too bad for an entire expansion. I'll probably get it at some point. I haven't played since the last time I played with you.
I haven't either, but
which is
I think
a few weeks already.
I think a few new strikes and a raid and a full story
and
more stuff.
Yeah, and more stuff.
It'll be more fun.
Agreed.
So we're gonna play that soon.
We'll get it at some point.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't think there's any other video game moves for me. There's more.
The thing I had was the Xbox Series X came out today.
Jeez, a lot of what?
I know, right?
Jeez.
The Xbox Series X and Series S, which are both dumb names, came out today.
No reviews yet.
No, because there are actual reviews because people got them early.
All right.
Seems to be good. It's from what I've heard because people have gotten the Xbox and the PlayStation early. From what I've heard, it's the Xbox. The new Xbox feels like an upgrade from the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
The PS5 actually feels like a next generation.
Ooh, that's a very important difference.
Neither of those is a bad thing. The Xbox that's what they were trying to do. It was just an upgrade, essentially. And it is next gen. It has next gen stuff like ray tracing and whatnot. But it apparently, again, it's not like I got my hands on it, but apparently just feels like an upgrade from the Xbox One. The PlayStation 5 actually feels like a next gen console, which again, neither of those is a bad thing. They both have the same like power and whatnot, essentially. But the PS5 actually feels like it changed something. Apparently, the Xbox Series X doesn't really it changed stuff, obviously, but it's not like it was revolutionary.
Right.
And also, I've heard the PS5 controller is rad.
Did you see a close up on it?
Yeah, the grip the grip on it is little.
Is the shapes.
Is the X's and circles and squares and triangles, and you can only see that if you're like looking super closely at it. It's super cool.
Yeah.
So that's a fun little detail that they did not have to add because nobody would have been like, why is there no detail or why is there no styling on this?
No, they just kind of wanted to do it. I do the same thing. I'm like, oh, this is you know.
Yes. I've seen a little gameplay on. I don't even know what it was on, but like
the only gameplay I've seen is Spider-Man PS4,
PS5,
not PS5, or just the remastered version. It looks good.
Yeah, I love ray tracing.
Mm-hmm.
Ray tracing makes everything look better because there's actual reflections and whatnot,
and it's all natural light,
and the lighting is natural. Things actually bounce off. Like light actually bounces off things and refracts
like in real life
in realistic ways, so it looks rad.
Whoa.
And obviously games run smoother and everything. Mm-hmm. I would love to play Ghost of Tsushima on a next gen. That I'm excited for because
can you transfer your game?
I'm not sure yet.
The thing is, you downloaded it on your account, so I feel like if you just transfer your account, that all the data will come with it.
I don't know if there's a free upgrade for it either. There might be. They're doing that with most games.
Especially games that came out in 2020. I feel like it's a ripoff.
I feel like it should be a free upgrade.
Especially exclusives.
Oh, yeah. But games like that and Spider-Man, I'm excited because there's something about how smooth those games already are. Mm-hmm. So if you have because they run it, usually right now, consoles run at 30 frames per second. Those games running at 60 frames a second is going to be insane. It's going to look amazing, and it's going to feel so good.
What's really cool is...
I'm very excited for that.
One of the skins for Spider-Man Miles Morales is the Into the Spider-Verse skin. And they purposely slowed down the frame rate.
Oh, they did. They made it like 15 frames or whatever, which is awesome.
Just like the movie. It's really cool. If you like Spider-Man at all or Into the Spider-Verse, I recommend you go look up what that looks like.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
I do wonder how they integrated that into the game, but it's rad. Technologically, I have no idea, but it's super rad.
Yeah.
I do kind of wish, and they might have this in the game too, because there are so many suits in the regular Spider-Man game, that it was the jacket into the Spider-Verse. I think that one is so cool.
Yeah.
With the hood up and everything, it looks so rad. So I hope they add that to that game because that would be super cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's video games.
Before
what else do you have?
I have one more thing. Even people that don't like video games can hear this. I tried VR for the first time. Since we talked last.
How's that?
It is, you hear this about everyone that's tried VR. It is literally an experience I've never felt before, where you feel like you just see stuff that shouldn't be there, and you forget that you have something on your face. You just look around and it's just new.
Yeah. What did you play on it?
I played Beat Saber.
Yeah. And I really want to play.
If you know me, you know that rhythm games are my thing, Rock Band and stuff. You know me, so you know that.
I know that. I do.
You know that about me, dude.
Yes, I do. I do know that about you.
What's fun about it is, there's the songs that come with the game, but the person that owns it kind of jailbreaked it a little bit.
Oh, really?
So jailbroke it. So you have custom ones. So I've played My Shot.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've played Test Drive from How to Train Your Dragon. That one was
cool.
my favorite.
That's super cool.
You feel so good while doing it.
That sounds awesome.
I
want to play Beat Saber really
Beat
bad.
Saber is so fun, man.
I've only ever done VR once, and I played for an hour of Resident Evil 7 years ago.
But
4 years ago.
That's VR in 2017.
In 2017, yeah. But it was actually really cool.
Yeah.
The thing I didn't expect about it is how natural looking around actually feels. It doesn't feel like, and I've said this before, it doesn't feel like moving a camera around. It actually feels like you're just looking around. It's all, rather than in a video game, moving a camera around, it feels like it's all actually still there behind, even though it's not.
It's an actual environment.
It feels like you're in it, and it's all still there even if you look away, but it's not. I mean, it technically is, but it's not.
Yeah.
It just feels much more natural than you'd expect it to.
Yeah, you'd expect that the goggles that you wear are heavy. They're you feel it, but you forget that they're on once you're in it.
Yeah.
The really cool thing is that the calibration, there's a literal camera if you put them on, and you can actually see what's in front of you in real life.
Oh, so that's so cool.
Wait, I did not expect that I could do this.
That's called dissociating.
Yeah, I know. It's whoa. and you get to draw the play of area, and I'm like, wait, I can draw in the air?
Dude, I want to do more VR
Here's
so
the thing.
bad. I've only ever done it once.
VR
so long
for
ago.
Xbox, at least, because that's the one I've tried.
Yeah.
It's only $300.
That's not too bad, but I'd also rather spend that money on a new console.
Okay, I was just about to say, I think VR is only fun if you live with people that would play it with you.
Yeah.
Because if you live with people that don't play video games, like my family, or like video.
Yeah, my parents wouldn't.
Yeah. I feel like your parents would try.
They would try it, but they wouldn't like frequently.
Yeah.
People are screaming.
Yeah. Anyway, I feel like the only reason why it's fun because people were watching me while I was playing.
Shoes smoking? Or is that something from the fire?
No, that's a fire.
Okay.
Were my shoes smoking?
It looked like it was coming from your shoes.
They were definitely smoking. It's like burning.
That's the thing about shoes.
They felt warm.
You can't feel it right away because there's like multiple layers.
These shoes are like 5 years old.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, you can't feel it right away.
I'm gonna take my shoes off. My socks are Legend of Zelda.
Oh, cool. As you were saying.
Try VR if you know someone with VR.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely give it a try.
Buy it if it's definitely a community investment.
Yeah,
it's not an individual investment like a
we
console.
move in together. That's an investment we're gonna make.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's video game talk. Sorry, it went on. Hopefully you skipped.
Yeah.
Like
Who
we
cares?
said, you should.
Nobody's made it this far in the video anyway.
That's fine.
What are we? 10 minutes in? Nobody's made it this far. We're more than that. And there was a couple minutes that we were fixing the thing on there too. So.
Would you like to go to movie talk? That's not a movie we saw. We're only 37 minutes in.
So like 30 minutes in-ish. Yeah, let's welcome to We Hate Movies.
Where we don't hate movies.
Where we love movies.
Yeah. Which one do you want to talk about?
We love things, really.
We love most things.
We do love most things.
We don't really hate a lot of things.
That's why it's so tough to think of stuff every week.
I'd say 27 times 3. No, times 2.
Times 2. What are you
54? 54 things we said we hated. Plus guests.
Combined? Yeah. Yes.
Plus guests. Yeah. Minus you repeating it that one time.
That one time. So like 53 things we've said.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff to hate.
Yeah. What's really cool is we're having trouble thinking of things now.
Yeah.
It's like the world isn't really full of as much hate as it should be.
And obviously we don't even hate all the things that we say we hate. Like one of the first things
like
I said was
triangles.
This might have been the first thing I said, but triangles was just slightly longer.
That was episode 2. Jack was there.
Oh, Jack was there. You're right. I don't actually hate them. It's just fun. Let's talk about movies. Let's talk about movies that we love. 2 movies that I love. I absolutely love.
Yeah.
You know, you just warm yourself up. Yeah.
This will be a thumbnail.
I hope.
Yeah.
I usually choose one of the randomly generated thumbnails anyway. I could go through it. The only time I think the only time I've ever gone and looked through it, maybe I did it twice, but was with Jack, because it was that one where I was holding
up the candle
and you guys smiling very weirdly. It was a very good. So I went and looked for it and made that my
thumbnail is a big thing when convincing people that the video is worth watching.
Yeah, so I don't put any effort into it because they're not.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're on the same page.
Yeah.
The movies we watched this week are V for Vendetta and Civil War.
Yep.
The thing
Two amazing movies.
Yeah, I didn't watch Civil War.
Absolutely love both
because we were recording earlier than I thought we would be.
Yeah, just scheduling this week.
I watched V for Vendetta right before I got here because I got out of class at 4:20 and then I watched it. Then I came here.
All right,
so,
I have things written down for both.
I didn't write down anything. I remember everything.
I have things written down for both. Let me open them real quick.
Let's do V for Vendetta first.
Okay, I'll start on V for Vendetta.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because that's my movie.
I feel like we're gonna say some different things about it.
Probably, and also it is good to note that I have seen this movie many times. You can't hear that. Why are you acting like you can hear your feet moving through the air? I actually have less things written down for this than I do for Civil War, but I still have some things written down.
Okay.
What I liked, the V speech at the beginning.
Vita versus the virtuous and
I want to learn
vice.
the whole thing. Yes.
Vicious
I know
vanity.
I know a little bit of the first, but I'm not going to do it until I know the whole
I didn't
thing.
know. I didn't know there were that many V words,
Dude, so many.
and they used them coherently
Perfectly.
too.
Especially near the end when it's basically all V words. He like ramps it up too. It's insane. I'm going to learn it and do it one day.
And then the turnaround after.
Yeah.
Arr, arr.
And you may call me V.
You know what V says? Arr. You said it.
Okay, so what I liked.
Before you say it, sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
If you haven't seen it, go see it. This is a spoiler review.
This is a spoiler review. If you haven't seen the movie, I would highly, highly recommend this movie. It is one of my favorite movies.
Yep. If you don't care, keep watching.
If you don't care,
it's
keep watching.
It's a movie about revolution in London dystopia.
Yes, in a
Dystopian London.
near future dystopian London.
Yes.
It's amazing. I think it's actually set sometime in the 2020s.
It is.
But it's based on a comic book that was written in the 70s.
Yeah.
So that was the distant future. The V speech, the "you cannot kill an idea" speech.
That was awesome.
And quote, and not the speech at the end. I'll get there, but just like the first time he says it, essentially. This movie is chock full of good quotes.
Yes.
Absolutely, some amazing quotes in this movie.
I'm like, oh my god, that's a good quote.
Yeah.
Like 15 times. That's good. Yeah.
So you cannot kill an idea. That's just a good quote, and then he says stuff around that too. That's amazing. Like his whole, the character of V
Philosophy.
His whole philosophy and the way he articulates things and just the way he speaks, that's what that means. I don't know why I had to say that twice. Is amazing, and I love it, and I love him. The quote, "People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people." Such a good quote.
There's also we're the news. We're supposed to tell the news, not fabricate it. That's the government's job.
Which is, yeah, but they're fabricating that. They're saying that because they're saying people will believe us.
Yeah.
Because we're not supposed to make up news, but they are making up the news
Yeah.
right then and there. God is in the rain. I don't exactly know what that means, but I say it every time it rains. So I like that part. I don't know what it means at all, but I say it every time it rains. So, and nobody ever gets it, because who's ever seen V for Vendetta? Only cool people.
Not very many people.
Not very many people, surprisingly.
Because it's not our generation.
Definitely,
It's a generation
I was about to
before
say
us.
definitely older people, not like old people, but
The
people,
generation after us.
before us.
Like Scott's age and stuff.
And then the entire, and this is the last thing I have for liked, because I could go on and on about this movie.
Why not? Just
forever.
say whatever you want, man.
This is just the last thing I have written down. I could talk about this entire movie because
We
I
also
liked
have
the
to go
entire
through what I
movie.
like about it.
Yeah, these are basically my biggest points. The entire "you'll all be dead before you've reloaded" scene.
Okay, that scene was awesome.
That scene, which then leads into another "you cannot kill an idea" speech. That is good action. Good action.
It's 2005 action too.
That is good 2005 action,
Yeah.
and it's not cheesy. And also,
Just cool.
I found it on YouTube because I thought it would be cool.
Yeah.
A full speed version of that scene, because that scene is in slow motion. So if you watch a full speed version of that scene, you see how fast V actually moves. It's insane. It's insane.
Look at it after this.
Yeah. What?
That's you.
It's you.
Oh, sorry, it's me.
Yeah. Because V, they never get into details about it, but V does have some superhuman powers from like some genetic testing and whatnot.
That's literally what made him.
Yeah. They never get into
They
the details
kind
of
of
it.
okay,
they get
that's-
into how it happened. They don't get into what his powers actually are.
Okay, yes.
Oh,
you're right.
also, for context, this was actually originally a DC comic.
Yes.
Maybe not from the 70s, but from maybe the 90s.
He's like
So either way,
Deadpool without a sense of humor.
The 2020s. Yeah, he's like Deadpool, but profound.
But he was traumatized.
And he was, yeah, well, so was Deadpool. But rather than coming out of it being funny, he comes out of it saying things need to change.
Vengeance. So it starts with a V. Vendetta. Like his famous quote, "I can't wait to do a V for Vendetta." That was my favorite part of the movie.
Oh,
Who's
geez.
Guy Fawkes?
Guy
I know
Fawkes?
he does. He was like a 1650.
He was a real person. Who tried to blow up Parliament.
Yeah.
That was basically his whole thing.
in Spain, but
No,
I'm pretty sure it was
British Parliament.
It was British.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
the British
okay.
Parliament. That's why it's set in Britain.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we should sum it up a little bit. if you haven't seen the movie and you don't care, the movie starts out with remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I see of no reason that gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. That is a real little quote based on, I don't know, like you said, it was 1600s, something like that. Somebody tried to blow up the parliament because of corruption and whatnot, and they were trying to start a revolution. They failed. His name was Guy Fawkes. He failed. But that's kind of, the movie is kind of building off of that. So it's V trying to start a revolution and whatnot, and since this is spoiler cast, it happens.
Yeah.
On the 5th of November, and he wears a Guy Fawkes mask. If you don't know what that is, if you've ever seen anything about like the anonymous people online, they're always wearing that white mask with the mustache. That's a Guy Fawkes mask.
It's a symbol of the unknown.
Yes. Anonymous, unknown, whatever you want to call them. So that is the movie, essentially. Obviously, there's a lot more to it, and it's amazing. One more thing is the ending scene with the when the fireworks or the explosions going off and everything,
and
you see everyone in the crowd, and you see dead people, and you see living people, and
you see Valerie,
because and the little girl that got shot, and the producer guy that helped her out, because V was everyone.
That's that. I said unknown as a symbol. It's a symbol of a collected community.
Yeah.
Trying to start a revolution. That's literally the symbol of the Guy Fawkes mask.
Yeah. That scene was really good too. He was great. He was my father. He was my mother. He was my brother.
He was you.
He was you.
Me.
He was me.
He was all of us.
Yeah.
That was good.
Super good.
I wanted to say,
because the whole point. Sorry. Let me finish it up. With the whole point. V's whole point is that yes, there is a person behind this mask, but I am not that person. I am an idea, and you cannot kill an idea. So even if me, the person, dies, the idea will live on, and this idea being revolution, something better than what they have.
A change,
yes.
Yeah.
So his whole thing was, you can kill me.
The revolution is basically Nazism taking over. It's
a dictatorship in Britain, yeah.
That's literally like paralleled to...
It's very Nazi, yes.
The Fourth Reich, yeah.
Yes. Yes, it's very similar to that. So yeah, his whole thing, his entire person was, you can kill me, but you cannot kill the idea that I represent.
Yeah.
Because ideas live on. That's that whole quote that I was talking about earlier, where it's you cannot kill an idea. Which is just a really cool sentiment. The themes and symbolism in the movie and everything, and I love symbolism. It's amazing. There's so much depth to it, and there's stuff obviously you can look at and be like, hey, I see that in our world now, and it's an amazing movie.
There is truth and reality to it.
And even if you haven't seen it and you're watching through this spoiler cast, even if you know spoilers,
who cares?
Still watch it.
It's November
amazing.
still.
It's still November. I watch it every 5th of November.
Yeah.
Because the gunpowder treason plot. I know of no reason the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. All right. What I didn't like about the movie is the fact that I didn't have anything to not like about it.
Okay.
I have thought about it, but let me see if I can find something that I don't like. Because, man, do I love this movie.
Can I go?
Why don't you, I was about to say, why don't you start with your review of it, and I'll keep thinking.
I say that this is the best revolution / political takeover movie I've ever seen in my life.
Totally agree.
I think it's the best one ever.
Oh, yeah.
If it isn't, then recommend it to us.
Yeah. Recommend us a better
I think
one.
it's a perfect reflection of a philosophy that works, that builds a change in something that needs to be changed, and does it correctly, and does it in like a vigilante way too. That was good. I actually liked Natalie Portman's role, even though I never liked Natalie Portman's role in anything.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. She kind of bores me as an actress. She's just kind of
any role is just she's always the buzzkill in every single movie.
I think she's overrated, but in this she did great.
She did good. Her role actually
different.
Very, very, very mattered.
Yeah.
V is traumatized and has worn the mask ever since. And he says that he's never felt anything until he saw her. Seeing her, actually, he felt love again. He felt hope again, and that's what led him to finish his mission.
Yeah.
That was good. Like, that was actually a good romance. I also like that. I would have done it great without the kiss at the end. I think that was kind of forced.
I do like the symbolism of the fact that it's still the mask. It's not like it's him kissing her; she's kissing the mask.
The mask, and she's kissing the idea.
Yeah.
She even says, "I love you, but I have no idea who you are."
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Yeah.
And the fact that they didn't even go into who's actually behind the mask.
No,
they didn't care.
I don't even know. I have purposefully avoided who it is.
Yeah.
I don't know who plays the part of V, and I've purposefully avoided looking at the cast or anything because the whole point is that it's nobody and it's everybody.
Yep.
V is an idea.
I liked how they played propaganda. They played media.
They showed the media was just it's complete propaganda. Totally.
There was a huge parallel between V and what was her name? Evie.
Evie, yeah.
Which is also in
Evie.
V. Yeah.
He says that the first time he meets her.
Evie.
Evie.
There was a parallel.
Like God, do not believe in coincidences.
Yeah.
That's what he says when she says her name. It's cool. The quotes, man.
Yeah.
In that movie, so many good quotes from that movie. Anyway, continue.
I did like how there's a direct parallel between V and Evie, where you see Evie press a button, and then literally the next shot it's him pressing a button, or like it's a transition from one person with an idea to the other,
Because
where V literally has Evie have the same experience, so she knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And there's also there's always scenes where V, the guy, is blown up from the pretty much concentration camp, I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Hospital where they were doing
torture hospital.
Torture and tests on him and whatnot. He was the only one that survived the tests. So
yeah.
That's why he's super
where he comes out screaming out of fire, and then at the end of the movie-ish, Evie goes out into the rain and is just sobbing, which is a direct parallel, and it's so good how they did that.
It's the antithesis.
Oh my gosh, it's the build-up, and then the rain is literally the downfall.
The rain is the fire.
Yeah.
But the opposite.
But there's change to it.
And that's the God is in the rain scene, which I still don't. I don't know what that means, but I say it every time. Every time it rains.
It's a very you have to read that line.
Yes.
Because that's very novel line. But yeah, that's basically my assessment of the movie. My question is, do you agree with V, where he says that sometimes violence needs to be done in order to bring justice? Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I think I think a lot of things can be solved diplomatically, but I don't think everything can. I think sometimes wars need to be fought.
Most of the movie is him going on assassination runs of people that ran the prison that he went
prison
through.
/ hospital / whatever where he got tests and tortured. He's killing all of those people. That was the vendetta part of the movie.
Yeah.
The revolution was beyond that.
Yeah.
And he knew that. The vendetta, the vengeance part of the movie was for the person.
Yeah.
He did the revolution for the people, not for himself.
Yeah.
That was for the idea. But he was motivated by what he learned in that place about himself, about reality, and then like getting to know the girl that wrote him the note and everything that just motivated him, and he got an idea, and then he became the idea.
Yeah.
I also like that he is not completely inhuman.
No.
Specifically with the scene, obviously he feels for Evie and everything, and we know that, but specifically with the scene where he goes to kill the woman, the doctor lady.
He's like, I already killed you 10 minutes ago.
I killed you 10 minutes ago while you slept, and she said, is it painless? And he says yes.
One of my favorite quotes
is, is it too late to say sorry? And he says never.
Yeah.
And she says, I'm sorry. And he genuinely forgives her, but he still has to kill her because he knows that's what needs to be done
in order to bring the change that he wants.
Things. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
Because he forgave her. He just knew that things had to change. So it was nice that he wasn't just completely inhuman.
Yeah. What do you rate this movie?
Oh, 9.
I give it an 8.5.
Dude, I love this movie.
Good.
I recognize that there are probably some things wrong with it. I have a problem finding them,
It's a 2005 movie. Any movie between 2000 and 2009, those movies just weren't perfect at all.
But what would you say is wrong with this movie? I have a problem finding things wrong with this movie. What would you say is wrong with this movie? The action is well choreographed. It's fun. It's good. The dialogue is amazing. The plotline makes sense and is thorough, and there pretty much are no plot holes. What would you say is wrong with this movie?
There's boring parts.
Like what?
A lot of
give me a boring part.
Dialogue
that takes away from the story.
Oh, I'm not saying boring equals not linear to the plot.
If it's just dialogue, the dialogue is still important.
Oh, I agree.
Even the part when she's in the other guy's house and she's making a breakfast, and then they go and look at all the stuff.
A lot of the scenes where the detective's in also, I'm like,
I'll give you that. They were a little boring.
They were just, those scenes took way too long.
Those scenes, yeah, they did. They were still essential, but I agree that they could have been a little shorter.
Yeah.
I don't think much is wrong with this movie.
I agree. I love this movie too.
I agree that
I just don't think it's perfect.
I suppose those could have gotten shorter.
And it's good.
But
it
I think
but it must
and you'll probably agree with me on this, the detective's role in the movie was still essential.
Yeah.
Because he was, sure, you had V and you had Evie, who were kind of opposites but also the same, but they were both on the inside. I think the detective, being the viewpoint from the outside and being just sort of a normal person that's experiencing all of this and still seeing how he's going through it and everything, was an essential part of the movie.
This movie plays into every single perspective of a political revolution.
Yes. You see it from the higher-ups.
He lowers the gun when she pulled down the lever.
Yeah. So, you see it from a normal person's perspective, which is the detective. Yeah. And you see him, come full circle.
What I liked was they played him reacting to that night earlier in the movie.
Yeah. That was super cool.
Yeah.
You see it all early, but you're not entirely sure what you're looking at.
Wait, whoa. Yeah.
That was good. Super cool. Oh, and the domino scene, man. Oh. The domino scene is so cool. Such a cool scene.
The one
that's still standing at the end, which I personally think, I don't know why, but I've always thought that was supposed to be Evie.
It is.
Yeah.
Because he basically gives it to Evie and saying that says that she's the final.
Even though
she's the final piece.
Is she supposed? I mean, I've thought it through, and obviously, the movie essentially told me that it was. Otherwise, I wouldn't have just randomly thought that when I first saw it. But it sort of makes sense. Is she the only one still standing? Is that supposed to be the thing, or is she the one that's coming from both sides? She has both perspectives.
I think it was that.
Or is it?
It could be both too.
Yeah. This movie is nothing if not heavy laden with symbolism. So.
You know how much we love that.
I love symbolism.
Speaking of symbolism.
So do you. I think that's V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
Definitely watch it. Even if you haven't seen it and you just watched the spoilers that we said, still watch it. It's an amazing movie. It's amazing.
Yep. Next movie.
Civil War.
Captain America
Civil
3.
War. Captain America 3 Civil War.
The second best Captain America movie.
Yeah, I go back and forth.
Yeah.
I go back and forth between the first one and the third one.
None
of them are bad.
I'll go first this time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Captain America Civil War was, at the time, revolutionary. It was the Infinity War before Infinity War. Back in 2016, the internet plus our school went berserk when the trailer came out, and then Spider-Man came in swinging in.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
What's up, guys?
It's such a good.
Oh my god.
Dude, we were so excited.
No one expected it.
No. In a Captain America movie.
Wait.
No one saw that coming. Dude, we freaked out. We freaked out.
That was all fan service.
And it was so good.
And done correctly.
And it was amazing.
Yeah, it was good.
Yes.
Okay, that's basically the preemptive part. Yeah. I just wanted to say that this movie back then was the best one. It was like a toss-up between Civil War and Guardians for a lot of people, just because of how good this movie was. Mm-hmm. It was, everyone's in this movie. It's basically an Avengers movie, because it is.
It is an Avengers movie.
I want to start by saying it. The overall theme of it is incredible, where it isn't a huge bad guy. It's an idea that's creating conflict.
And they're both right.
But they both execute it with feeling, which is why there's a civil war.
They're both right, and they both have reasons for why they're on the side that they're on. So. It makes sense from all perspectives.
And for people on each side, it makes sense that they're on that side, which is even better.
I have that written down. Everyone's motivations in the movie are perfectly clear.
Even Spider-Man. I just want to impress Tony Stark.
You understand why everyone is doing what they're doing completely, and it makes total sense, which is hard to do.
Black
for a
Panther,
movie
they did great.
For a movie of
Wanda,
that scale.
they did great.
Yeah. Anyway, continue so I can say my stuff. Them to me.
Okay. My number one movie is.
So they talk.
My turn next.
My turn next.
My number one thing in the movie is Spider-Man's introduction. They did that.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Incredibly, and every scene in it is the best scene.
The hard cut to Queens.
Yeah.
And the music.
Like, I know a guy.
I know a guy.
Just like back then, we haven't seen like a Spider-Man since like 2012 or something.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Since Amazing
and
Spider-Man
holy
2.
crap,
Yeah.
like
Dude.
he looked like Spider-Man, and they didn't even do the Uncle Ben thing. They just
thank
said,
God.
"I saw clips of you. You're gonna come with me," and that's the whole thing. And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited."
Yeah, they
and
played
did
him
so
in
good.
so perfectly.
He's just so
They
awkward,
brought
but
him
he's
in
so
quickly
funny.
while also giving him character.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Like they knew who Peter Parker was already.
Yeah.
He fits into the world so much.
Yeah. It's great.
And those are basically my big things. A good introduction to Black Panther as well.
Yes.
Back then, I was on Iron Man's side, but I think I'm shifting towards Cap's side.
I was on Cap's side.
Everyone just did sides of who do you like more.
Who you liked more, yeah.
But now the ideologies is
if you go who you liked more back then, I was definitely on Cap's side.
And I was on Iron Man's side. We literally had a lot of arguments on it.
Yeah.
Back then, yeah.
So they were both right. Ideologically now, it's still tough. Because, again, I've said this multiple times already. Sorry for repeating myself. They were both right.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to choose a side.
Yes. The airport scene is one of the best scenes of all the MCU.
The airport scene.
Everything
one
was...
of the best scenes in all 23 movies.
Yes. The running up to them.
Without a doubt.
Spider-Man just looking like, we're running. Okay.
Vision literally drawing a line in the sand.
Yep.
Not in the sand, but literally drawing a line in the sand. That was on purpose.
And then Iron Man crashing down on the shield. That was good.
That was, because, of course, Iron Man and Cap them two had to collide.
Yeah.
Because it's them.
And then everyone colliding with other people was also good. Everyone split the screen equally, and they did it well. All right, Arrow guy, let's go.
All right, Arrow guy.
Ant-Man's lines, every single Ant-Man line
so funny.
was so good.
I love just...
Does anyone have any orange slices?
I love that line because it's like you're in the middle of it's like when you were in the middle of a soccer game and they give you energy. Yeah. Nobody understood that line.
Yeah,
nobody
thought
it was,
that line was stupid.
Nobody thought it was that funny. That line was hilarious.
Yeah,
because he's childish. He always acts childish, and it's like he's in the middle of a soccer game because he just did a big thing. And
he literally got called into a team.
He
literally got called into a team.
Yeah, that is a funny line. Nobody thought it was that funny back then.
Gigantic Man was good. Giant Man.
Yes.
Was good. Vision missing was good.
Yes, because he was distracted. That was decent.
That was good. That whole scene was good. Russia scene with Bucky, Cap, and Iron Man was also incredibly good.
About what you were talking about. Can we back it up a little bit? What were we just talking about? Airport scene.
Everyone, equal scenes. Spider-Man, Star Wars reference was also good.
No, it wasn't.
There was.
I have problems with it.
Cap and Spider-Man. Cap and Spider-Man's interaction was also
I had
good.
a thing, and now I forgot it. Maybe I have it written down. I'll look when we get to me. You continue.
That's basically all I have to say.
Okay. Is there anything you didn't like about it? I have a couple things that I didn't like.
Yes. Not enough fight scenes.
Really?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of lull in the movie.
So there's a lot of downtime. I think.
Also, the fact that the key the trigger words just having just a complete switch of character. Yeah, it's good. It's just super silly to me.
I mean, it makes sense.
I know, but it
makes enough sense in the context of the MCU.
Yes,
and the story they were telling.
I agree.
It makes sense.
Zemo is pretty boring as a character too. Yeah, but that makes sense in terms of the story because it's just a regular guy.
That's one thing I was going to touch on.
Go ahead.
Do you want to finish up before I get to all my stuff? Okay, so I'm gonna do
It's gonna be
my
a long
whole-
episode, by the way.
Yes, it is. I'm gonna do my whole review. What I liked. Oh, what I was gonna say a second ago was there were less fight scenes, but all of the fight scenes were better than most other MCU
I agree.
movies. So my first note is fight scenes.
Okay.
And this movie is a lot of what I've said I liked before, the hand-to-hand, well choreographed, back and forth, super fast, hand-to-hand fighting, which is what I love. So that is the first note I have written down. Those are all great. Black Panther intro, great. Spider-Man intro, great. Hawkeye going to get Wanda from the compound, great. Hey, Dad. That was a good scene. Because you get to see their relationship a little more. That started in Age of Ultron. Fun. Can you move your seat up? Scene?
No.
So funny. Falcon and Bucky's interactions in the whole movie are hilarious.
Another thing I didn't like. Cap kissing Agent,
Yeah, nope,
whoever that is.
didn't like
that was
that.
good. Bad.
Didn't like that because
Unnecessary.
They were definitely not. They didn't have it planned for Cap to, spoiler, go back in time at the end of Endgame.
And
They were not ready for that.
even if that didn't happen,
They didn't have that planned.
it's
out.
still bad.
It's still not great.
Just bad.
Ant-Man arriving, his whole arriving scene, him just coming on, it's so funny and
Hey,
so
Captain
awkward.
America.
Captain America.
Hey, this is
Hey.
Captain America.
Hey, I know you too.
Jeez.
You're great.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm shaking your hand way too long.
He's so good.
I think Paul Rudd is hilarious.
I feel like they said to Paul Rudd, just
go.
Just
Uh,
do
pretend
your
like
thing.
you're a normal guy meeting Captain America.
it's
Go.
so good. It's so good.
So yeah, that whole scene was
Hey, I know
hilarious.
you too. You're great.
You're great. The whole airport scene, obviously, we already talked about that. When Ant-Man was in Tony's suit and he was like, "It's your conscience. We don't talk a lot these days."
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Or
It
when
was so
Vision goes
funny.
into M and said, "He went inside
Something
me."
went inside me.
That was
yeah.
good.
Yeah. Very clear, and I said this earlier, very clear motivations for every single character. Tony feels guilty because of that lady that talked to him about her son dying in Wakanda.
Mm-hmm.
Cap wants to protect his friend. Wanda doesn't want to be afraid anymore, etc., etc. They all have distinct, real motivations.
Yep.
Everything from, you killed my dad, being Black Panther,
Yep.
to
The motivations of Zemo.
to
as well.
Hold on.
Sorry.
To Spider-Man being like, I just want to impress him.
Yeah.
All, like very real motivations from every character, and it makes sense that they're coming from those
Yep.
characters.
Vision being, I'm on the side of life and being with Iron Man
Yeah.
because that's the person that would save the most lives.
And yeah, so Zemo's motivations made sense
Yeah.
too.
December 16th.
I was gonna go more into that, but I don't really.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
See, villain was good.
I'll get more into the villain in a second, but that's in the what I didn't like section.
Oh, really? Okay.
Not the villain himself. I'll get into that in a second. He killed my mom scene. So
I don't care.
that hits
He
so
killed my
hard.
mom.
And then obviously also he's my friend, so
so
was
was
I. Saying, and also so was I, not so am I.
Yeah.
So was it hits so hard.
Or
it's like
you didn't deserve
like,
that shield and just drop it
That's
in
my
front of him.
dad, or my dad made that shield. You don't deserve it, and he drops it, dude.
Smiling too.
So no, he wasn't smiling.
Cap was smiling.
Was he?
Yeah,
no,
Cap.
No, he was not.
Yeah, he was.
Not at the end of that fight.
He
scene.
wasn't. He was like.
He was not smiling. I disagree.
I'll show you.
Go watch
after.
it. So that whole scene, very emotionally charged, and that is, while the airport scene is one of the best scenes in general in the entire MCU, the fight scene, and I counted it, 7 seconds at the bottom of the launch silo, where it's Cap and Bucky throwing the shield back and forth across Iron Man. We've talked about this scene before. That is my favorite fight scene in the movie, and I'm only talking about that 7 seconds.
Yeah.
It is so fast and back and forth, and it's
Full
just
of emotion.
and energy, and everyone is that is my and then also the rest of that scene too, when they're going up the thing, and then when Iron Man's like analyzes fight patterns, and then he fights and
Let's
then
kick his ass.
Dude, yeah, let's kick his ass, and Cap goes in to hit him with the shield, and he just catches it, he just blocks it. So that whole thing is good.
Shooting off Bucky's arm with his
and
arc
then
reactor.
the unibeam, dude, because he never uses the unibeam. That's rad.
The shot where he's shooting it at the shield.
When it's the back, when it's them,
Yep.
which was like one of the posters for the movie. It's them
Wait,
going like that.
That's the comic.
And it's the
That's the poster for the
and
comic.
the light shooting out of the off of the shield. Yeah, so that whole scene was amazing. All of the fight scenes in the movie were great.
Black Panther's monologue at the end with Zemo was also good.
I have some fun facts about the action in the movie too, because I saw an interview with one of the guys that was a stunt double.
Okay.
For the stunt double for Black Panther.
Okay.
For example, more than what you'd think is live action, not CGI. Like running behind the cars, what they had was, they were like these tracks, that were like, just hanging off the back of the cars, so they could run on them while the cars were moving. So
No
it looked like they
way.
were running, and they just CGI'd them out off of the ground. So it looked like they were running super fast, but there was actually people. And when he ran, jumped off of a car onto another car, the actor actually did that.
That's awesome.
So and also the Bucky flipping the motorcycle scene was real. It was obviously rigged up to something so it would flip around.
But the motorcycle was real. Him.
Yeah, the guy, and it was Sebastian Stan who did that that specific scene. It was the guy. He grabbed it, jumped around, it flipped up in the air, and he landed on it and started going the other way.
That was one of the best scenes
real.
too.
All completely real. Obviously it wasn't actually Cap, but Cap turning the car, jumping out and opening the door and jumping out and running, completely real.
Mm-hmm.
Completely real. The car flipping after him after that was not as real, but
it's just him running. But
it's no, actually those were just two separate scenes.
Okay.
They spliced them together. The car flipping and him running away was real. It was safer than it looked, but it was real. And him sliding and jumping out of the car and running was real, but then they just put those two scenes together. And also the scene where Black Panther is running away and he jumps sort of off the side of the building and then grabs the thing and slides down, real.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously not with actual claws, but that was real. Most of the action in the movie was actually real, live action. Less CGI than you think. It's super cool.
Yeah. What do you not like about the movie?
I'm not entirely done with what I liked
Ooh,
yet.
interesting.
I just have one more thing.
Okay.
Tony Stank. Tony Stank. That is my favorite Stan Lee cameo of the entire thing.
It's for Tony Stank.
Is there a Tony Stank here?
He
Yes.
just yells it too.
Can I get a table for one for Tony Stank? Yes, by the bathroom, please. Rhodey making fun of him, and it's my favorite Stan Lee cameo. It is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So that is all of what I liked about the movie. And more, obviously, but that is the major points. What I didn't like, the villains... I liked the villain because he's a normal guy. His plan, however, very circumstantial, and he got very lucky.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
That everyone reacted specifically the way that they did.
Very
Because
convenient.
If any of them had acted any differently, his plan would have been completely unraveled.
Yeah.
It was very convenient. Like it was a little unrealistic.
Yeah.
So I like the villain, and he's coming back for Black Widow. Isn't he going to be in Black Widow? I heard he was going to be. If they keep developing him, that would be cool. Also, I hope he gets his purple suit and sword because that's what he looked like in the comics.
One of the first conversations I've ever had with you is,
I'm upset because Zemo doesn't wear a purple suit.
And then he showed me his purple suit in the comic.
Yeah, it's rad.
It was biology class.
And dumb.
Yeah.
But I love it because it's purple
And
and,
then he
frilly,
told
and he
me-
has a sword.
Then you went off about the second Avengers and why Buck is the second Cap when Cap dies and everything.
Originally, yeah. What I didn't like that you said you did like is the Star Wars reference because they did it wrong. Because Peter says, "Hey, have you guys ever seen that really old movie?"
About the walking thingies?
Yeah, with the giant walking thingies. He is a Star Wars nerd. He would have known what the movie was called and what that they were called AT-ATs or AT-ATs, whatever you want to call them. He would have known that. I think that was a bad character moment for him. Sure, it was funny, I guess, but it didn't make any sense.
The comedy.
It didn't make any sense for his character.
Yep.
Because he's
a nerd.
Giant Star. No, he not even just a nerd. He's a Star Wars nerd.
Yeah.
They built the entire Lego Death Star. They love Star Wars.
And have you seen the thing where the saddest part of the MCU is Ned
Is
dropping the
Ned
logo?
dropping? Yes.
Sorry, yeah.
Very funny.
Death Star.
So.
It was funny, but
that scene was funny, but it just didn't make sense for his character at all.
Sure.
So I just didn't enjoy that very much. Those are the only two things I don't like about the movie. But the villain's plan being circumstantial is a large chunk of the movie. So
overall, this movie is the turning point of the MCU where things are getting serious.
Things actually start. So if I am not mistaken, because I definitely could be, because I just thought of this fact, Tony and Cap don't see each other until Endgame.
Yep.
From this point on, there's a lot in between now and Endgame.
They don't see each other in Spider-Man. They don't see each other
again
Infinity
until
War.
Not even in Infinity War. They don't see each other again until Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. There's so much in between now and Endgame.
Yep.
So yeah, that's interesting.
I think this movie is the connection to, okay, now every movie is just part of the overall plot now.
Yeah, now it's all part of the same story.
Because
Other
before
than
that, it's
Guardians
like, yeah, exactly. But because before that, it was like, oh, it's another movie. You should watch this Marvel movie. But now it's like, here is Marvel Part 30, or not 30, but yeah.
Other than Guardians 2, but that makes sense. It's far away.
Yep.
So it makes sense. But yeah, everything from now on leads towards the end game.
Mm-hmm.
Notice how I didn't say end game. I'm saying the end game. I called that movie I called the name of that movie when Infinity War
can we talk about that
came
real
out.
quick?
Yeah, we can.
So
It's cold. I'm leaning forward. Sorry if you can hear the fire a little bit.
We're Marvel nerds. When we saw Infinity War, we didn't stop talking about the movie for 6 months.
Of course not.
And we were like, oh, so in the next one, it's gonna be
Dude,
it's gonna be the Infinity Stones. Or
I don't think
Thanos' blah blah blah.
I don't think I've ever been so excited for anything for so long as I was in between Infinity War and Endgame. That was a very long year. And so much happened in that year too. We went to college.
Yeah,
we started college that year. That's insane. Anyway, continue what you were saying.
And we were just like, oh, I wonder what it's going to be about. And then Noah's like, I'm calling that it's going to be called Endgame because
Doctor Strange.
Because Doctor Strange says it in Infinity War before he fades away.
Yeah,
and
then, also...
And Avengers 2, Tony Stark says it too.
That up there,
that's the
Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says that in Avengers 2. But yeah, I actually forgot that when I first called it. That Tony said it too. But because Doctor Strange was like, we're in the end game now. It's like, it's going to be called End. I called one other thing too.
I don't remember, man. That was the big one, though.
That was the big one, though. I called that it was going to be called Endgame.
Holy crap, did Noah actually do that?
Yeah.
Props.
Yeah. So, next week, 2 weeks, what are we watching?
No, next week, because this is the guest week. No, you're right. It's not the guest week.
Yeah, next week is a guest week.
Yeah.
So in 2 weeks, what are we watching? What comes after Civil War? Guardians 2? Maybe?
No, it's Doctor Strange.
Is it not? I think you're right. Strange is after Civil War.
Strange is 2016. So Civil War.
So Civil War was 2016.
It is Doctor Strange and then Guardians 2 and then Spider-Man.
What are we watching
and then Thor
along
3.
with Doctor Strange?
We didn't discuss that.
Strange. Doctor Strange
is my number 6.
It probably belongs in my top 10 if it's not already there. I do love that. It's one of my favorite.
My phone is really cold.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite intro movies.
It's
one of my
origin.
favorite origin movies.
Yes.
Origin story movies. Thank you.
Have you ever seen Zodiac?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay,
dude, great cast. RDJ, Jake Gyllenhaal, Mark Ruffalo. All of them have been in the MCU now.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
I said that.
Did you remember Mark Ruffalo?
I said that as well.
Robert Downey Jr.?
I said that too. Is somebody else in it, or is
Jake
it just
Gyllenhaal?
them three?
Jake Gyllenhaal? Did you say that?
I think somebody else is in it too.
Did you say the Zodiac is in it as well? I'm just saying.
Ted Cruz?
I can't find any movies.
Are we looking for movies we both haven't seen again?
Okay. Yeah. Have you seen The Social Network?
No.
You don't want to see that?
I don't.
Okay. Being John Malkovich, I haven't seen.
I don't really want to.
Taxi Driver, I've always wanted to see.
I need to see that as well, actually.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Taxi Driver is our next film.
I don't know how we haven't seen it. It's one of the most famous movies of all time.
It's very classic.
If you know movies, you'll be like, how have you not seen Taxi Driver?
Yeah. I've never seen it. It's you need to see this movie.
Yeah. It's definitely that kind of movie.
And yeah, we're going to watch Taxi Driver and Doctor Strange in 2 weeks.
Very different movies.
Hopefully we'll have a guest next
I'm going to put a disclaimer again. Taxi Driver, from what I've heard, is a very intense movie, and you have to be in the right headspace for it. Just like I said for Cuckoo's Nest.
Yes.
It is very strange, and yeah.
Just like Doctor Strange. What do you rate Civil War?
I forgot. Do we do it amongst Marvel movies or amongst movies?
Amongst movies.
In general. 8?
8.5.
8.5?
Yeah.
I should probably rank it higher then, because you like it less than me.
Yeah. Everything's Spider-Man,
Okay, let's think about it. What do I have wrong with it? That's a better way to go than what I like about it.
Really, the only thing you have wrong with it is the coincidences.
It's just too coincidental and circumstantial. I'll give it.
It's an incredibly smart movie, and every character.
Yeah, I'll give it a 9
because
because this is one of the few movies with a cast this large where everybody's motivation makes sense.
Yep.
It totally makes sense what everybody is doing and why they're doing it. So I'm gonna give it a 9.